With the introduction of Chapter 5, the new movement has been pretty crazy, especially with Epic constantly updating it and making it better. So it's going to be really easy for you to get overwhelmed and not actually know how to master this movement. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to actually move like the pros and how to play the best you can. There's timestamps down below, so if you want to skip around, you can do that. But let's get into it. The first thing you really need to do is change your settings. Epic completely changed how double movement works this season, so your settings aren't going to work the way they used to. So for your settings, go to the mouse and keyboard, and then go to keyboard movement. Make sure custom diagonals is on. For forward angle, you want this to be 70. For strafe angle, you want it to be 90. And for backwards diagonal angle, you want it to be 135. The last setting you're going to want to fix is your sprint button. You'll see why in a minute, but my sprint button is this little button on the mouse. This is super easy for me to press, so I can always press it whenever I need to. The whole idea of this is to bind your sprint button to any button that is super easy for you to press, and you can press it while building. This whole movement meta is based around sprinting. Epic has made the sprinting last longer and recharge faster, so it's been extremely buffed. One of the most important ways of sprinting is to use it while you're building and ramp rushing. So I'm going to show you how to actually ramp rush. So you can see on screen how when I ramp rush, I'm actually sprinting and then placing 2 ramps and then sprinting. This makes me so much higher than my opponent is actually overpowered. So here's how to do it. The map code is on the screen and in the description, but if any of these moves are too hard, just go to 0.8 speed. It'll make it a lot easier to do. So the first thing I'm going to be showing you is ramp rushing. So instead of doing the normal ramp rushing like this, which is super slow and you're going to get beat doing it, you're going to start sprinting and then jumping and placing 2 more ramps like this. Now, if you need it to be a little bit more protected, you can add like a floor and a stair and just point your crosshair down, so then you're not like facing it directly up. So there's ways to make it more protected, but this is just the baseline. So now you're also going to want to sprint while cranking 90s. Again, you can see me doing this into the ramp rush, and it makes me so much faster than my opponent, and I'm always on top of them. So here's how to sprint while cranking 90s. Now here's how to actually properly do 90s now. So you can still do your normal 90s like this, except the thing is now, instead of just exiting like that, you're going to want to go like start sprinting up. This is really putting emphasis on always sprinting, so you're always just going to sprint out of the 90. You can try sprinting through it. There's ways to do it, just it's a little bit more difficult, and I don't really think it's necessary, but just make sure that you're sprinting out of the floor. So every single time you're basically going up a ramp, you're going to want to sprint. Now here's how to sprint while doing one of the best high ground retakes you can do in the game. This is called the sway retake. It's the most protected retake in the game. It's going to be super good for you to be using. Now you might be wondering how to do this. All you have to do is place a wall here, here, and here, and place a stair. This is going to be fully protected. You can do this on either side. This is going to be really good. So now you're going to want to add sprinting to it. And now to add sprinting to the sway retake, you're going to place it like normal, like this, and then you're going to sprint out of it. Now this is pretty much, it's like the 90 where you're just literally sprinting out of it when you can. And I guess you supposedly could like sprint here, and you can do it in Battle Royale, but because of creative is a little bit faster, it's a little bit harder to do it. Now you may be wondering, I get how to sprint while building, but how do I actually get faster in game? So there is a couple strategies that you can use that pros like Polarize have been doing for a long time. My favorite is when you're going on a hill, instead of just sliding down it, you can flip your ramps, and then you're going to place them, slide down it, jump and slide. You're going to get a lot of time doing this. You can practice this in creative. It's super easy and it'll give you insane pro movement. But just to remind you guys, anytime you get a chance to sprint, do it. Not even in the moves I showed you, but you really need to be sprinting in all your building. It takes some time getting used to it, so you really need to practice. So to warm up, use this routine that pros like Polarize use. It's on the screen right now. Click it. Trust me, it's going to make you so much better. But goodbye.